Hi, and welcome to another video of the listening practice series on my channel in English with Lisa. The short stories in these videos are all created and narrated by me. It's my voice you hear, not that of an AI, artificial intelligence program. This listening series is entirely in English, and it's separated in playlists of different levels, from A1 all the way up to C1 and C2. So, let's get started. Grab a notebook for any new vocabulary, get comfortable, and enjoy today's story.
Welcome to today's short story, A Postcard from Yesterday. Chapter 1, The Arrival. Eleanor Shaw stood by the mailbox, sifting through the usual collection of bills and advertisements when an unusual postcard caught her eye. The image on the front showed a faded photograph of Riverdale Park with its iconic wooden bridge and weeping willows. Eleanor's heart skipped a beat as she recognized the place where she had spent countless summer afternoons as a child. She turned the postcard over, and her breath caught in her throat. The handwriting was unmistakable, looping curves and a distinctive way of crossing T's that she would recognize anywhere. Ellie, I miss you more than words can say. The summer isn't the same without you here. I have a secret to tell you when I get back. Promise you won't be mad. Your best friend forever, Lily. Eleanor's hands trembled as she read the message again. Lily Martin had been her closest friend throughout childhood, until that fateful summer 30 years ago when everything changed. The postmark on the card read August 15, 1993, the very day before Lily had disappeared without a trace. At 52, Eleanor had built a comfortable life for herself. After her divorce 5 years ago, she had moved back to her hometown of Millfield to care for her aging mother, who had passed away last spring. She now lived alone in her childhood home, working remotely as a graphic designer and maintaining a quiet, predictable existence. Yet, here was this ghost from the past, materializing in her mailbox decades after it had been sent. How was that possible, and why now? Eleanor carried the postcard inside, placing it carefully on her kitchen table as if it might disintegrate at any moment. She made herself a cup of tea and sat down, studying the faded image and the familiar handwriting. The summer of 1993 came flooding back to her, the last summer she and Lily had spent together. They had been inseparable since kindergarten, two girls who understood each other completely. That summer they were 15, standing on the threshold of adulthood, sharing dreams and secrets under the stars. And then Lily vanished. One day she was gone, her family moving away abruptly with no forwarding address or explanation. Eleanor had been devastated, writing letters that were never answered, calling a disconnected phone number, and eventually accepting that their friendship had somehow reached its inexplicable end. Now, 30 years later, this postcard had somehow found its way to her, bearing a message from a day frozen in time. What secret had Lily wanted to tell her? And where had this postcard been all these years? Eleanor picked up her phone and did what anyone in the 21st century would do. She searched for Lily Martin online. She had done this periodically over the years, always finding nothing. But this time, a recent article appeared in her search results, dated just 2 weeks ago. Local artist Lily Martin returns to Millfield for retrospective exhibition. The article showed a photograph of a woman with familiar eyes, though the rest of her had changed with time, just as Eleanor had. According to the article, Lily had become a successful painter now living in Paris, and she was returning to their hometown for the first time in 3 decades for an exhibition of her work. Eleanor felt the room spin round her. Lily was coming back to Millfield, and somehow this postcard had arrived just before her return. It couldn't be a coincidence. Chapter 1 Comprehension Questions. Number 1. What was the date on the postcard's postmark? August 15, 2023, August 15, 1993, August 16, 1993. The correct answer is B, August 15, 1993. Number 2. How old was Eleanor when Lily disappeared? A. 15 years old. B. 22 years old. C. 52 years old. The correct answer is A. 15 years old. Number 3. What is Eleanor's current profession? A. Painter. B. Graphic designer. C. Postal worker. The correct answer is B. Graphic designer. Number 4. What did Eleanor discover when she searched for Lily online? A. That Lily had died many years ago. B. That Lily was married with 3 children. C. That Lily was returning to Millfield for an art exhibition. The correct answer is C. That Lily was returning to Millfield for an art exhibition. Chapter 2. Buried Truths. The exhibition opening was scheduled for Saturday evening at the Millfield Arts Centre. Eleanor spent the days before then in a state of nervous anticipation. She read and reread the postcard, examining every detail, every word. She searched for more information about Lily online, learning that her childhood friend had built an impressive career as an artist whose work explored themes of memory, loss, and hidden truth. When Saturday finally arrived, Eleanor stood before her closet, unsure of what to wear to meet a ghost from her past. She eventually selected a simple blue dress that brought out the color of her eyes and applied her makeup with shaking hands. The Millfield Arts Centre had once been the town library, a grand old building with high ceilings and ornate moldings. As Eleanor approached, she could see that it had been transformed for the evening, with spotlights illuminating large canvases visible through the windows. She hesitated at the entrance, suddenly unsure. What would she say to Lily after all these years? Would Lily even remember her? The postcard in her purse seemed to burn against her side, a tangible reminder of their unfinished story. Taking a deep breath, Eleanor stepped inside. The gallery was crowded with people admiring the artwork and sipping champagne. Eleanor moved slowly through the space, studying the paintings. They were haunting landscapes, many reminiscent of places from their childhood. The park, the river, the old oak tree where they had carved their initials. But each painting contained something slightly unsettling, a shadow or a distortion that suggested something hidden beneath the surface. Then she saw her. Lily stood across the room, surrounded by admirers. Her dark hair was now streaked with silver, and fine lines framed her eyes, but her smile was exactly as Eleanor remembered it. For a moment, Eleanor couldn't move, frozen by the sight of her long-lost friend. Then Lily looked up, and their eyes met across the crowded gallery. Time seemed to stop as recognition dawned on Lily's face. Excusing herself from her conversation, Lily made her way through the crowd toward Eleanor. "Ellie?" she said, her voice older but still familiar. "Is it really you?" "It's me," Eleanor replied, suddenly overcome with emotion. I got your postcard." Confusion crossed Lily's face. "What postcard?" Eleanor reached into her purse and withdrew the weathered card, holding it out. Lily took it with trembling hands, her face paling as she read her own decades-old message. "Where did this come from?" she whispered. "It arrived in my mailbox 3 days ago," Eleanor explained. "Postmarked August 15th, 1993, the day before you disappeared." Lily's eyes filled with tears. "I wrote this the day before my father made us leave town. I never had a chance to mail it." "Then how—" "I don't know," Lily said, shaking her head. "But I think I know who might. Can you meet me tomorrow? There's something I need to show you." The next morning they met at a small cafe near the gallery. Lily seemed nervous, repeatedly checking her watch and glancing towards the door. "I never wanted to leave, Ellie," she began. "My father made us pack up in the middle of the night. We left everything behind." "But why?" Eleanor asked, the question that had haunted her for 30 years. Lily took a deep breath. "My father discovered something about the company he worked for, Millfield Chemical. He found documents proving they were dumping toxic waste into the river, the same river where we used to swim. He confronted his boss, and that night we received threats. He was terrified for our safety, so we fled." Eleanor's mind raced. Millfield Chemical had closed down years ago amidst rumors of environmental violations, but by then the damage had been done. The river had been declared unsafe, and there had been an unusually high rate of cancer in their small town. "The secret I wanted to tell you," Lily continued, "was that I had found one of those documents in my father's office. I didn't understand what it meant then, but I knew it was important. I hid it before we left, in a place only you and I knew about." "The hollow tree by the river," Eleanor whispered, remembering their special hiding place. Lily nodded. "I think it's time we retrieved it. The statute of limitations has long passed, but the truth deserves to be known. Will you come with me?" Together they drove to the old riverbank, now part of a restricted area with warning signs about contamination. The path was overgrown, but they found their way to the ancient oak tree that had been their sanctuary as children. The hollow at its base was smaller than Eleanor remembered, partially closed by the tree's natural healing. Lily knelt down, reaching deep into the hollow. After a moment of searching, her expression changed. "It's still here," she said in disbelief, pulling out a rusted metal box. Inside, protected by a plastic bag, was a folder of documents, chemical formulas, internal memos, and photographs showing barrels being emptied into the river under cover of darkness. "My father died believing no one would ever know the truth," Lily said quietly. he carried that guilt to his grave. Eleanor examined the papers, recognizing names of town officials who had turned a blind eye, people who had prioritized profit over the health of their community. Some had died, but others still held positions of power in Millfield. "We need to take these to the newspaper," Eleanor said firmly. "It's not too late for the truth." Lily hesitated. "There will be consequences. Are you sure?" Eleanor thought about the postcard that had somehow found its way to her after 30 years, as if guided by an unseen hand. "I'm sure," she said. "It's time to finish what your father started." Chapter 2 Comprehension Questions. Number 1. Why did Lily and her family suddenly leave town 30 years ago? A. Her father got a new job in Paris. B. Her mother was seriously ill. C. Her father discovered environmental crimes and received threats. The correct answer is C. Her father discovered environmental crimes and received threats. Number 2. What themes did Lily's artwork explore? A. Nature and wildlife. B. Urban landscapes. C. Memory, loss, and hidden truth. The correct answer is C. Memory, loss, and hidden truth. Number 3. What was the secret Lily wanted to tell Eleanor before she disappeared? A. That she was moving to Paris. B. That she had found documents about toxic waste dumping. C. That her parents were getting divorced. The correct answer is B. That she had found documents about toxic waste dumping. Number 4. Where did Lily hide the important documents? A. In her father's office. B. In a bank safety deposit box. C. In a hollow tree by the river. The correct answer is C. In a hollow tree by the river. Epilogue. Full circle. 1 year later, Eleanor and Lily stood together at the edge of the river. The cleanup operation was in full swing, funded by settlements from the former executives of Millfield Chemical and the estate of the town's former mayor who had been implicated in the cover-up. The postcard that had brought them back together was now framed in Eleanor's living room. No one had ever been able to explain how it had appeared in her mailbox after 3 decades. The Postal Service suggested it might have been stuck in an old sorting machine that had recently been decommissioned, but Eleanor and Lily preferred to think of it as something more meaningful, a message that had waited patiently until the time was right. Lily had moved back to Millfield, converting an old warehouse into a studio where she taught art to local children. Eleanor had found a new purpose managing the environmental restoration project, ensuring that the river would someday be safe again. "Do you believe in fate?" Lily asked as they watched the sunset reflect on the water. Eleanor considered the question. "I believe some connections are too strong to be broken, even by time and distance." Lily smiled and squeezed her friend's hand. "The postcard said I had a secret to tell you, but in the end it was the postcard itself that was the real secret, waiting all those years to bring us back together. As they turned to leave, Eleanor noticed something caught in the reeds at the water's edge. A faded photograph of two young girls standing on a wooden bridge, arms around each other's shoulders, faces bright with laughter and the promise of endless summers. Some things, it seemed, were meant to find their way home. The end.
Thank you for watching this video until the end. If you liked it, please give it a thumbs up, subscribe to my channel, and hit the notifications bell. This isn't an artificial intelligence. The story was narrated by In English with Lisa. I'm a native speaking teacher, and this is my real voice. If you have any questions, please leave a comment. I love hearing from all of you. And don't forget to like, subscribe, and turn on the notifications bell so you never miss a new lesson. Plus, you'll help my channel grow and you'll give me the possibility to create other videos that you can watch for free. See you soon. Bye.